says, iron rusts from disuse, stagnant water loses its purity, and in cold weather becomes frozen. Even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. So we must stretch ourselves to the very limits of human possibility. Anything less is a sin against both God and man, right? So, first things first, this pops in my head is the last line. Anything less is a sin against both God and man. Okay, before we go into anything here, yes, I am religious. You may not be, right? But when I say sin, when I read out sin, the way I take it is you are missing the mark. Sin means missing the mark. You are doing wrong. You are missing your expectation, right? Because sin is a word in archery terms as to miss the mark. I believe it's Latin, if I'm not mistaken. So, anything less is a sin against both God and man. And it goes on to say the first line, iron rusts from disuse, right? Stagnant water loses its purity and in cold weather becomes frozen. Remember, stagnant, disuse. Even so does inaction, right? Sap the vigor of the mind, right? Sap the vigor of the mind. Inaction equals sapping the vigor of the mind, right? So we must stretch ourselves to the very limits of human possibility. What does that mean, right? What does that mean? In my terms, it means that you are here on this earth for a reason. You're here on this earth to do something. You should be proud of this. You should be glad that you're here. You should be so enthusiastic about you being on this planet. It's not even funny. Your chances of being on this earth were slim to none, and you were chosen, right? So, if you're rusting from disuse, as in you're not using your hands or your mind, if you are stagnant water and you're losing your purity and you are being frozen in time in this society, right? And if you are not taking action, even so does inaction sap the vigor of the mind. If you're not taking action and you're not stretching yourselves to the very limits of human possibility, what does that say about you as a human being? What does that say about you that you taking for granted your opportunity to be on this planet, right? Are you taking for granted, which I promise you, you are. I am, everyone is. But to what extent are you taking for granted the chance that you have to live on this planet and to change the world? If you think that you can't change the world, if you think you cannot stretch your limits to human possibility because of your circumstances, I suggest you take a look at people who were in worse situations than you, right? I suggest you take a look at people who were well more struggling than you, who were in ruins and have come to be the best of this world in any endeavor, right? In any endeavor. Every story exists of every timeline of every family of every. You know what that means? That means everyone is human. Everyone is equally human. It's the ones who separate themselves, and it is the ones who work hard. It is the ones who take action, right? It says take action, right? Because inaction saps the vigor of the mind. It is the ones who take action that will prevail. And I want you to remember that when you're living in your day-to-day life. Okay, I'm going to hammer down on this one more time. So we must stretch ourselves to the very limits of human possibility. Very limits. Every single one of you. I don't care who you are. You should be pushing yourself to the maximum extent of your capacity every single day. Yes, it's okay to rest. Yes, it's okay to breathe. But oftentimes, I think we rest too much. I think we breathe too much. I think we use listen to your body or listen to your whatever too much, right? All of us are going to die anyways. So if you're looking for a way out, and ask yourself, is what you're doing and what you're avoiding doing asking for a way out? Or are you doing it to be rest, or are you doing it to become the best version of yourself, right? Remember that. Stop taking the choice of inaction just because you are tired or you are bored or you know it's hard. Reduce the friction and just get going. I'm telling you right now, the key to what you're missing is reducing the friction and just getting started. It is a thing that you dream about. It is a thing that you think about. Well, oh, like I'll do it one day. It is a thing that constantly is in your brain. That is your subconscious annoying you. That is God telling you that you need to wake up and do what He has given you to do in this life. If you feel like you are astray or lost to the side or not fulfilling your purpose, if you feel like you are not filled with joy and pursuit, and that you are burning voluntarily, then maybe you need to be changing what you're doing. Maybe you need to rearrange your life, reorganize your tasks, aim up to a higher self. View another version of yourself. I don't care who you are. You could have just gotten promoted and you are making 6 figures. I'm happy for you, but you know you can do better. You could have a business right now doing 200K a month. I don't care. You know you can be doing better. And if you're the guy who's working at McDonald's and says everything is going wrong for me right now, I have nothing, people are dying, I promise you, you can change. You can become who you want to be. It might take a little longer, but those cards were dealt to you. The hard cards were dealt to you to learn from. And then you can preach when you get out of that. How fulfilling would it be if you told everyone, 5 years ago, I was at McDonald's flipping burgers. And now I'm doing everything I want to do with my life just because I believed in myself, just because I took action. Because inaction sapped the vigor of your mind. You had no new possibilities in your life because you were inactive. You were still water who got frozen. Does that make sense? Frozen water cannot move. You must flow like a river. And if you are not flowing, there will be no new opportunities, no new people, and you will stay where you want in the familiar hell. Let's just say that, right? And as I'm talking to the camera, I don't have a direction right now. But I want to be very adamant on the fact that if you need help, if you need a purpose, do the difficult things every day. Do the things that are overwhelming you. Do the things that you're putting off, because those things are what's going to exponentially grow you to slowly become into the version of the self that you want to be. And for this last part, it says something along the lines of, any less is a sin against God and man. And I'm going to hammer down this one more time. You got put on this earth. One in I don't know how many trillion chances that you're on this earth. That is a sin against God. But the sin against man is a sin against your family, the sin against your community, the sin against anybody around you, right? The world, your country, your county, wherever you are. It is a sin to not enlighten yourself so then you can go and enlighten others. How fulfilling is that? How nice would it be to be like, oh my gosh, now I know the way to live. I feel so fulfilled and I feel full of drive, right? And not everyone's purpose is the same. But you can hand down that knowledge and that wisdom that you learn, right? Please stop being stagnant like that frozen water. Stop. Do everything you can. Defrost and go on and pursue what you want to pursue. Do anything and everything you can to do so. And if I were to leave you with one last thing, especially to the young men out there, do it for the future family. Do it for the kids that you have to see go through hard times. When I go through something hard, I tell myself what a good thing it is, because I'm going to be able to tell my children. I'm going to be able to tell my children how to deal with everything. How to handle all these things that were so difficult for me. How to pave a path for them when I went in the wrong direction. To put it in an analogy, guys, You are lost in the woods, and your community, your friends, your family, your parents, they help you pave a path. But oftentimes you also get lost, and you know what you must do. You must sometimes rely on others to pave a path for you or to lead you in certain ways and give you a light. Whether it's a light, how big or how small, whether it's some food to keep you going on the trail, or some water. Maybe it's just shelter for a little bit to keep you in place, to weather the storm. But remember that when you are going through something, there's a reason for it, and you will be able to push past it and give other people your wisdom. So when you are going through something, don't be scared. Say, bring it on. Like, bring it on. Bring it on. All of it. Tell God, whoever you believe in. Tell the world, right? If you don't believe in God, to bring it on. Every challenge to grow you into the person you must be. Because again, it is a sin not to grow into that person. Because what are you gonna do when your kids go through that? What are you gonna do when you have to deal with it through other people and you can't help them because you were too selfish to deal with your own dragons, to deal with your own monsters? Because you decide to stay in the comfort of your bed and not face the world outside. Now other people must pay for you not learning, right? And yeah, please, if anything, take that last chunk, take that last few minutes, and remember that it will all work out as long as you have the right heart posture and you are going in the right direction and you are helping others. Remember that.